Okay, some way off yet, some way off. Careful of the clutch. Okay, last car is coming into position now. Last car in position now. Roger, John. Count me down. Okay, ready? Leaders are behind you. 10-4. Two more laps to survive. Two more laps to survive to come in. You must push, you must push.
Well, I came into 1996 better prepared than I'd ever been, I think, for a Formula One season. I took the view that this was going to be my best and possibly my last chance to win the Formula One World Championship.
30 seconds, boys, 30 seconds.
Things had gone so well at the early part of the season. After Argentina, I was on such a high that it's almost as if you feel you're invincible. But I never really believed that I was invincible, and I knew enough about Formula One to know that things don't ever last and that you can't possibly go through an entire season and win every single race. So I was prepared for any eventuality.
It's Damon Hill! He's out! And off goes Rubens Barrichello! Oh, this is not good! That one's gone! That's it!
You've got him, come on!
Now heading back to the pit lane. So let's just run down then for you.
I arrived at Silverstone, really literally on top of the world, and looking forward to the last, the most crucial part of the championship, the final 6 races.
Michael Schumacher, 1:27.624 in the Ferrari. 4th fastest, number 11, Rubens Barrichello in the Jordan Peugeot, 1:27.705. 5th fastest, number 4, Gerhard Berger in the Benetton Renault, 1.
Whenever I'm driving well, I always drive in the same way, and it's a way that I recognise everything's very smooth, everything's very economical.
Verstappen, Herbert, Starlo from the Yalma, Rosset, Lamy and Lavazzi. That's the first.
You have to use every inch of the track, and you have to use the best lines in order to reduce the angle that the car is taking through each corner. The shallower you can make a line through a corner, the quicker you will be able to go.
Can we have an update on the clutch, boys, on the data? The temperature's stable at the moment, James.
You focus on things like the turn-in point, and you focus on certain areas on the circuit which give you markers, so it may be just a discoloration in the tarmac, it may just be a little place where there's a bump, or it may just be where there's a slight kink in the edge of the road, and you become familiar with those points and use them as references.
30 seconds.
It's almost like painting, it's almost like freehand drawing, but you can only do that if you're at one with the car.
That Damon has secured pole position for tomorrow's British Grand Prix. There's really nobody out there now who can depose him, so there we are. Damon Hill has done it, not 1 but 2 laps under 1:27.
Frank is completely obsessed with his team and his cars. That's the reason he's there. He's there because he can't get out of his system. He's a racing nut. I've got a lot to be grateful to Frank for. He gave me my break. He had the faith to put me in the car in 1993 and gave me the opportunity to win races.
Tremendous reception for Damon Hill then, 126.875, pole position for tomorrow's British Grand Prix.
Damon, many congratulations indeed. Great pole position for the British Grand Prix.
It couldn't be better, could it? I mean, it's fantastic, you know. So many people here, you know, I could see them cheering me on, and it'd just be, would have been so disappointing not to.
The Grand Prix scene has often been described as a circus. Well, sometimes it feels more like a zoo.
Start to the weekend.
When I was starting out in Formula One, I felt very uncomfortable about the amount of attention. But now it's got to the stage where I kind of can either ignore it or learn to live with it.
And I'm going to have to work hard to beat him.
I get the first reaction, which is always the best. It's much better when Damon's just out the car, a bit sweaty, but still elated. And see. Right. It's all positive. I mean, Jack was disappointed, but there wasn't much between them. I mean, not even 2 tenths, and we're 8 tenths ahead of Michael Schumacher, so that looks good for tomorrow. So I'm hoping that tomorrow when we sit here, it'll be a similar story.
If it's a day like today, we got no problems at all. You're walking. I'm, 100% sure of that. Nobody would touch it.
I'll say Hill, then Schumacher, Villeneuve, and Hakkinen.
I'm going to sign a few autographs. Some of those people have been there since 6 o'clock in the morning, pressed up against the fence, and just stood there, waiting to see all the drivers. It makes quite an impression on you when you confront people who've been standing there, for up to 4 hours to see you and get your autograph.
A couple more, then I've got to go and get my breakfast, and we're driving in about an hour's time. That's it. Right, I'm off. Thanks a lot. Bye. See ya. You have to work half your muesli.
I know.
My travel memory abroad. Someone has done this for me, a Japanese person. Well, that's me in Japan. That's me in my car, and that's me in my car, and that's me in my car, that's me in my car, and that's me in my car, and that's me in my car. And I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a little note. I send you a present. I'm afraid that you dislike it because you don't remember the race. What race?
You are 25 points ahead in the World Championship. This has to be the most important Grand Prix of the year for you. Everywhere you go, you are beset with people wanting photographs, autographs. How psychologically do you cope with the pressure?
Well, I don't think about it.
Alpha, Philippe Pascal, Verstappen, Herbert, Starlo, Yalma, Rosset, Lani and Lavaz. That's the first. That's 20.
Well, don't ask me. I think Villeneuve's going to win. But no, good luck, Damon.
I'm always ready to get in the car 15 minutes before the start so that I can just focus on my job.
Stargate, you have 8 minutes to go.
The adrenaline is pumping through your body, and it should do. If it's not, then there's something wrong.
Don't forget, Jack, not to hold that clutch on the bite point for long. And 4. You may want to spin the wheels off the line.
The most worrying thing for me every time is when the lights come on. There's about 5 seconds, during which time I have to get the car in gear successfully and make sure I'm ready to go. Well, it doesn't give you much time if something goes wrong.
Okay, last car is coming into position now. Last car in position now.
It's a question of focusing very hard on the lights. The moment they start to dim, that's when I drop the clutch. There's an extremely fine line between a good start and a diabolical one.
Terrible start for Damon Hill, a better one for Michael Schumacher, and Villeneuve has had happen to him exactly what he wanted to, and pole position man Damon Hill threw it all away.
I got a good initial getaway, and then the revs died, and I tried to readjust, and I ended up getting too many revs, and I started spinning the wheels and not going anywhere, and everyone was going past me. Very, very frustrating and disappointing.
And Schumacher is out, is he out? This is heaping embarrassment on the Maranello team, and meantime Villeneuve is now nearly 4 seconds ahead of Jordan. And Irvine is out of the race. Oh my, and not only out of the race but on fire.
I think it's a kind of freedom, travelling at speed. I've always loved going fast, and there's this adrenaline rush you get that you're starting to get to the point where you think, like, it's all going out of my control. It's something that's going too fast. But then that's the balancing act. It's getting to that speed and being in control of it.
Damon Hill has got the bit between his teeth now.
One lap longer.
I would have had a hard job to have beaten Jack in that race after the start I'd made. But I needed to finish the race and get the points. But before I got the opportunity to do that, there was a problem with the way the wheel was held on. The nut came loose.
Damon, which side is the problem? Which side is the problem?
I felt a knock as I was going round Club Corner.
Maybe front wheel bearing. I'll get the side.
It was the wheel actually wobbling against the hub. I had to put on more lock to turn right than I did do to turn left.
Gas, Jack, please. Jack, position and gas.
Damon is out, Jack. Damon is out. 10, give me.
I would have been doing about 170, 160 when I spun off. I knew I was out of the race. It was just a question of sitting there and waiting for the gravel to catch me and to slow me down. There wasn't any fears for my own safety at that point. I was a little bit startled at what had happened. You just have to say, well, thank goodness no one got hurt. It was only hurt feelings and disappointment for everyone.
And Jacques Villeneuve crosses the line to win the British Grand Prix and take 10 superb World Championship points to close within 15 points of his teammate Damon Hill in the World Championship.
Damon, just one look.
He started too old. He should have been in when he was in his early 20s, not his early 30s. He missed out too many years.
Oh, he's got bottle and wonderful personality.
He's too gentle. He's a gentle man, and he seems too nice to be a racing driver in some respects, but nonetheless.
He's not like Schumacher, who you think, you know, he's quite arrogant and confident with himself. He just seems a really down-to-earth, you know, guy that you'd meet on the street.
Oh, yeah, I don't like him. I don't know why, but I don't know. He's a good driver, though. I think everyone likes him, so. Got a different. Like someone else, isn't he?
A lot of stuff that comes to Ireland just says Damon Hill Ireland, and it somehow finds its way to my house. It just says Damon Hill Formula 1 racing driver Ireland. There's one particular guy who, his name's William Taylor, who he went to just about every test session I ever did at Silverstone, stood on the corner at Woodcote and waved a Union Jack every time I went past. Now he did that every single lap I went past, from morning till dusk. You know, I'm very, very grateful to people like William and all the other fans who've backed me all the way.
Franco, quello tutto dentro è sbagliato.
Damon, the world at large would expect you to feel hurt, downcast, angry, disillusioned. What are your feelings?
Well, I'm disappointed. I wouldn't say that I could be anything other than that. I was told the news on last Wednesday by Frank, and naturally I was very disappointed to hear the news.
Damon, some of the attitude to this decision that Frank's made almost seems to be that there's no life after Williams. Is that your attitude?
On reflection, it's maybe time I flew the nest. You know, I started there as a test driver and grown over these last 6 years, and I think that I have the opportunity now to explore other teams who I can bring my expertise to help develop a winning car.
Does it fire you up even more for Sunday?
I think there's extra motivation. There's always new twists and turns which provide extra motivation to win, but I don't need any more motivation. I've been motivated throughout the season to win races, and I think that the fact that I've won 7 of the last 13 races should speak for itself.
If not, would you quit?
I'm not a quitter, Ted.
I am extremely distressed for all sorts of reasons, one of which is that Damon is a personal friend of mine, The second is that I have to say I think he's been treated very badly by the team. If you think about what he's done in terms of being a test driver and developing the car, as I talk to you, he has won 20 Grand Prix and is likely to win the World Championship, and it seems a very poor return. But sadly, this sort of thing happens in Formula One, and sadly, particularly, seems to happen with Williams, because it happened with Nelson Piquet, it happened with Nigel Mansell, it happened with Alain Prost, admittedly for entirely different reasons. But Formula One is a very tough, ruthless, cruel business, and Damon has suffered.
Damon è molto bravo, ma secondo me ha paura, è indeciso quando fare il suo passo.
Pensate che Damon è un autista speciale come Schumacher?
No, il miglior autista ce l'abbiamo noi.
We like Italy. Yes. We like the food. Actually, my friend there doesn't like the food, but we like the spaghetti. Yes. You know.
Well, basically, the car that we have here is divided into 3 bits. You've got what we call the tub, which is right the way from here all the way through to here, and that includes the cockpit where I sit, and includes obviously the steering wheel, etc. The front suspension is bolted to it, and these arms hold the wheels on, very light but very strong in the right direction. But if I was to push on it hard enough there, I could quite easily bend the suspension. And of course it takes load, it's designed to take a load longitudinally. There isn't a lot of room to manoeuvre inside the cockpit. We have, it's trimmed down to the bare essentials, and I don't have much room to move my elbows. There's not a lot of distance between there and where my shoulders are. It can be quite uncomfortable because you get bashed around quite a lot. The fuel tank is in this area, that's where the fuel goes in. And behind my seat is a fuel tank, so I sit actually almost on top of the fuel, which might sound a bit alarming, but it's the only place to have it, so that's where it has to go. The most important bit for me, steering wheel. It's got these 2 little levers behind it, which I use to change gear. I put it that way to go up and that way to go down. And it has some other buttons on here which include things like the pit lane speed limiter, radio, other things like a cutout button, other functions on the car. And it's detachable so that I can get out in a hurry if I need to.
The circuit at Monza is very hard on the car. Most of these engines rev now above 16,000 RPM, and I believe that the average engine speed around here is 14,000 RPM, which in itself is twice as high as the maximum RPM of most road car engines. I have given Damon a lot of advice over the years that I think is useful. I think he is well aware of what job he has to do tomorrow, and ideally he would like to win the race and Jack drop out of it, so that he can actually wrap up the championship tomorrow.
Damon Hill pole position, Jack Villeneuve second, Michael Schumacher third, and Mika Häkkinen fourth.
How do you feel about that?
Absolutely fantastic. Damon Hill number 1.
The Schumi fans. Why are you wearing a Michael Schumacher hat?
It's a Ferrari hat. He's trying to die.
Oh, he wasn't quick enough. Georgie's been with me ever since I started racing cars. In fact, we got together in 1981. She's got a lot of self-confidence, and you know, she knows what's really important in life, and since she's the mother of my 3 children, she knows that she's not going to allow something like the World Championship interfere with the upbringing of the children. On a Saturday night, mostly I am able to get back to the room and I'm able to sleep well. But the moment the alarm bell goes, I jump out of bed like a jack-in-the-box. Monza was the first race I'd been to where I could have sewn up the championship. But I didn't really allow myself to think too much in those terms because it relied on a non-finish from Jack. No one's going to give me a massage. Isn't that right?
When he wins the championship, I want Georgie to be one of the first people he sees, so I'm actually going to take her with me. If I go up to the press conference, I'm going to take her with me, get her into there, because if she could stand there, and the first person he sees when he walks into the press conference is not a sea of journalists, but he sees Georgie, I think that would be...
Okay,
otherwise she's going to be sitting here for an hour not knowing where her husband is.
This is so that my muscles get warmed up before we get in the car, because it's quite early in the morning and it's quite cool out there. And if we jump in the car, basically there's no warm up to it. You know, you get in the car and go as fast as you can quite early on. So if you go over any bumps and get any jolts when your muscles are cold, you can tear your muscles. And that's you for the weekend. Owen, tell them what you're doing. Yeah, whatever may have happened in the past between myself and Michael, I'm a racing fan, and I love all the good things about the sport, and one of the good things about the sport is the Italian love of Formula One, and particularly of Ferrari.
We're in a situation where basically Damon's got to win this weekend. Yeah, Damon's got 81 points, Jack 68. If Damon wins today and Jack finishes 4th or lower, then the championship's over.
it come from?
Lacey has made another of those absolutely sensational starts of his. John Lacey leads with Damon Hill in second position. Jacques Villeneuve is in third place, and if you had asked me if that was likely to happen, I must say I would have said no, and Damon Hill leads. Hill passes John Lacey as they go into the Rosia. Chicane. My goodness, this Italian Grand Prix is red hot already. Stop, look, under the bridge there. That is a Williams Renault, and I'm guessing that it's Jacques Villeneuve until we can see the driver. I'm not going to make any statements about her. It's Hill! It's Damon Hill! He's out! I don't know what's happened.
I was pressing on, but at the same time thinking, I'm in a comfortable position here, and I just lost concentration for a fraction of a second, enough for myself to hit the tyres on the exit of the first chicane. But I hit the tyres so hard that it actually pitched the car right the way round and spun the car through the air and broke the steering arm on the car and twisted the steering column. So it was a pretty hefty impact. There was no way I could continue from there.
Today I could have finished the race, and I think I should have won the race, but I made a mistake, and I hit the tyres at the exit of the second chicane, and that put me out of the race. So I made a very good start. I was very pleased with the way the race was going initially, and I was enjoying myself, but that's just one of those things. I'm afraid I can't blame anyone but myself for what happened, and now I'm going to have to sit very anxiously and watch the rest of the race. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go back and do that now. Thank you very much.
I did one of those things that there's no way out of. You know, I have to just admit to making a mistake. And as far as I was concerned, I went through the chicane and just got too close to the tyres and hit it with my right front, and that was it. Hit it too hard. They're bolted down. They don't move. Up until that point, you look very strong in it. Yeah. Well, it's gone now. I'm afraid that was probably quite an easy race victory. I think if I escape from this weekend still with 10 points, I can consider myself 10 points advantage over Villeneuve, and I can consider myself a very lucky man indeed.
And Schumacher has probably damaged the suspension. He certainly won't have done it any good.
You need to think what will be going through the German's mind on the lap following that contact with the tyre. Have I done terminal damage, or have
too much towing? The left front is towing in.
Been on my side. You wonder what's going through Damon Hill's mind if he's watching it as well. Damon clipping another set of tyres and costing him a possible race victory here when he was leading. Not the only one by any stretch. It's just that momentary lapse in concentration, or just being a little overconfident.
Oh, he did that good old well.
Look, see his hands.
Yeah.
To my amazement, Jack was not able to score a point, and I went from feeling like I'd thrown everything away, feeling like you know, I'd really blown it, to feeling like one of the luckiest men around by the end of the race. And you know, bad luck on Jack, but I had, you know, that had saved my bacon, really. To have been present and seen a Ferrari win in Monza is a special event in itself, and I would have obviously preferred to see myself win, but failing that, it just out of my love for the sport, it was a good thing to see Ferrari win in Monza.
I buy jackets. I can never normally get them for Christmas. I bought them where they fit them.
Evening. Monza was a difficult one for Georgie because for 4 laps there, we thought it was all going to happen.
Here we are. You got the room key? No, we don't need the Japanese.
And I could sense when I got back to see her that she knew that she was in for another month of tension. She wanted it to be over now. I wanted it to be over now, and that was probably the reason I hit the tyres, is that I just wanted it to be over.
I can't really hear what they're saying.
What's this? To Damon from Alex Bond. Phone number and fax. Excellent pole position and good luck in the race. I'm going to be at Stand E tomorrow. Can you visit?
Hello, could I double check, please, that a table was booked for this evening for 8:30 for 8 people in the name of Hill? Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Yeah, what is that? Yeah. But it is that sort of thing.
There's no picture. Yeah. What have I done? Would you like some sushi?
Yeah, I wouldn't like some sushi. I don't know how long it's been there. It's very good.
That's good.
Why would it be
Oh God, I love sushi. If I eat that, I could be horribly ill though. When it's got mustard and everything, oh, I love this. It's my favourite.
Dear Damon, I don't know how to write to you because I don't know you. I know only your image, the red moustaches of your Formula One, your voice and your pungent accent.
Pungent accent?
They must have got you muddled up with Nigel Mansell. Red moustache, pungent accent. That's got to be Nige, isn't it?
Can you have a pungent accent?
You are my champion, whatever happens, even in the adversities. You became my own champion by chance 2 summers ago during a storm in August when we found a kitten abandoned in our garden. In the beating down rain, he was as quick as the wind, quick as Damon Hill, said my brother, and from then on the kitten became Damon Hill and you became our champion. Now, do you know this person here? Because there's a whole load of CDs which seem to mean something. Therapy?
Therapy, question mark.
Therapy. And
so many things I need therapy.
Goose Fair.
Quite obviously.
And it's from a Best Wishes Mandy. Damon, don't look back. What's that all about then, Damon?
I don't know.
Here are. My lifetime ambition has been to go to the Portuguese Grand Prix, and this year it's come true. So I'll be watching you from Grandstand C, so give us a wave. Don't forget to wave at Grandstand C.
I'll try to remember.
Good luck from 2 of the biggest Damon fans.
William Taylor's here.
Is he?
Yep. Saw him this morning.
Have you
waves every single lap, whether I'm testing or racing.
Okay.
I don't think there's any other sport where 2 guys are at the same time forced to compete against each other and at the same time work together. It's worked very well with Jack, but there's no question that we are the people we want to beat most when we come to the track.
I think everyone just gets pumped up on the race day naturally. You ain't got to pump them up.
You haven't really got time to feel any pressure because you don't have 10 seconds to go for how am I feeling now.
We spent nearly 3 months over the winter practicing pit stops, 4 or 5 hours a day, just practicing pit stops until we decided that that was the best that we could do.
I think the quickest one we've done is 6.2, 6.3, and I don't think you'll get much quicker than that. I'd like to see Damon win the championship. I mean, I was fortunate enough to work with Nigel and Alan and win 2 world championships on the car I worked on, but at the end of the day, it's down to the guy who sits behind the wheel.
I prepared a drink for Damon and Jack. This one, it's amino acids and magnesium. You need both for your muscle work. Most of the work is a static work. It's not a dynamic work for moving. It's more holding against the G-forces. This logo on the bottle should be the Damon's helmet logo. It's a special sign here. Jack's sign is just a GB. Very simple. But he wants to change it because he saw Damon's one and now he wants a sign, but I don't know which one we should take.
Daventry, Northants, day out, fly out at 7 o'clock, come back tonight. All to see him be crowned world champion. Absolutely excellent.
1:22.666, half a second quicker than Jack Villeneuve.
I wanted to win at Estoril because I could win. There was the opportunity there to win a race, but I had to think of the championship. And I felt to some degree in Monza I'd let my impatience to get the job done come between me and actually securing the championship. I wasn't going to let that happen again in Estoril.
1 minute, Charles. Still collecting. Last car is coming into position now. Last car in position now.
3, 4, 5, hold.
It's go! And Hill gets away well. Moves across in front of Jacques Villeneuve. Alesi is up there and having a go. Hill forces him back. It is Damon Hill leading. Alesi is second. Schumacher comes up into third position. And Jacques Villeneuve, who started second, has been passed by Alesi and Schumacher.
Jack is 8.4 behind you in P4.
Things went better than I thought, actually. I made a very good start, managed to get in the lead and get a healthy lead and see that grow with Jack stuck back in 4th place behind Michael. At that stage, I was thinking that this is going to be it. We're going to finish the job, and no doubt everyone watching felt that as well.
Villeneuve is taking Michael Schumacher. He's been trying to do it all through the race. It looks as though he's succeeding, but Labarge is in his way. Villeneuve cuts ahead of the Ferrari. Fantastic bit of driving by both of them. Michael Schumacher coming back at him as they go into turn one.
Well done, Jack, well done. 30 seconds, Carl.
Tyre covers off, please. It's going to be a quick turnaround, so be aware.
Probably the most agonising point of any race is the pit stop. And as I'm coming down the pit lane, the car is crawling along at what seems like a snail's pace.
Steady in the box, Damon.
And then once the car's jacked up and the guys have got to work, and there's what seems like a wait of up to half an hour. During that time, all I'm doing is thinking, come on, come on, come on. And I just focus on Carl, and the moment he pulls that lollipop out of the way, I'm out of there.
There you go, ahead of the race. Okay, Villeneuve is your only opposition.
As the race progressed, Jack, he drove a blindingly good race. You know, he drove for everything he was worth, and caught me up.
Jack, behind you, but very fast.
Now, how far behind us is Jacques Villeneuve as we come down into turn 6. Hard on the brakes, down from 170 to 70 miles an hour. Swing left, drop downhill. Bear right for turn 7, then it starts to climb. There's the answer, it's that close. Damon has got to stay ice cool, ice cool.
Come on, Jack, you must push, you must push. Damon is ahead of you, you must catch him. Come on, push, Jack, push.
In the pit lane. Limit to Damon, steady into the box. Steady. Brake, neutral, brake, 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 gear. Go, 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 go. Give it to.
This is where the Portuguese Grand Prix and the World Championship could be decided. His target is 8.8 seconds to do better than that. This is the stop that could decide the World Championship of 1996.
Wheels are hard.
8/10 of a second now. Villeneuve has taken the lead.
Whilst I had planned and thought I could actually stay ahead of him for the last pit stop, in reality, when he came out in front of me, I knew that was the end of the race for me, because he had been pushing hard. He was, I was unable to stay with him on pace without taking more risks than I wanted to, and it became more imperative for me to get to the finish when I was informed that they had a problem with our clutch.
We've got a problem on the clutch bearing. You're going to have to tell him to go clutchless. Damon, can you go clutch position 5? Clutch position 5.
I am clutch position 5. I am clutch position 5. Please give me gap to D3. Give me gap to D3.
Please repeat, Damon. Please repeat.
What I didn't want to have happen was Jack win and me not finish. And I had about 35-second lead over the next guy, so I was able to ease off towards the end and just get the car to the finish.
Villeneuve wins in Portugal. It's not very often that in a 16-race series the World Championship goes right down to the last one before it's decided.
Sorry, Adrian.
That's all right.
How'd you...
Really sorry.
Why? Because now you're going to have to go to Japan.
Yeah, well, yes. You should apologise about that. You're quite right.
Do you think you can engineer me? Do you think you can engineer me to 1 point? Blimey, it's got to finish, hasn't it? That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going back home because I want to remind my children that they have a father, and then I'll be back here on Tuesday or Wednesday for testing before we go to Suzuka.
You know, this business of following your father into motor racing in an attempt to compete with him is false. You know, there's no way I could compete with what he did. It was a totally different era, totally. I am, in many ways, just carrying on the family business, but I'm pretty thankful he wasn't an accountant. No offence meant to accountants. Arriving at Suzuka was in some ways a relief, but in other ways it was the start of what was going to be the most important race of my career. You know, there was none of this, you know, Monza it might happen, Estoril it could happen, factor. This was it. We were going to get an answer at Suzuka. Everyone kept on saying to me all I had to do was finish in the points, and it just had a kind of a less than reassuring ring about it, because whenever anyone says all you have to do, then you always wonder, well if it's that easy, then why am I feeling so apprehensive about it?
誰がキャッチと思う？
誰が
ヒル。
でももちろんヒル。
デーモンヒル。
デーモンヒル。
なぜ？
かっこいい。かっこいいくて。
デーモン。
I was at home on Thursday afternoon and the phone rang about 3 o'clock, and I answered the phone. It was a lady speaking, and she said, "Hello, I'm Bridget Hill. Damon's wondering whether you would like to come to Japan to watch him race." And I thought, this must be a wind-up. So I said I would love to go and watch Damon race. So the faxes came through confirming the flights and the hotel details, and arrived here yesterday.
I love you.
Friday and the Saturday have all sorts of risks attached to them. I had to tread carefully through qualifying. It would be very easy for me to have gone there and just thrown caution to the wind and ended up watching the race from hospital.
This is where we keep the champagne for the race. If Damon wins the World Championship today, we'll get this out and put it on ice basically 2 hours before the race starts. We don't have it on show, and purely for superstitious reasons. And let's hope he has a good day and we're able to get it out.
I reckon I was in the best shape I've been mentally for any race all season at Suzuka. You couldn't manufacture a situation like that. That had happened as a result of 15 Grand Prix up until then. All the preparation, all the hours that you've spent in the gym, all the time you spent talking to the engineers, you know, at last, this is the time it's going to happen. There I was on the front row. I was ready.
Villeneuve on the right, Hill is on the left. The lights go out and the Japanese Grand Prix is go! And a brilliant start by Damon Hill, and Villeneuve has been passed by Jean Alesi and by one of the McLarens.
Deja vu. Jack was down in 4th place, as he was in Monza, as he was in Estoril, and I hadn't won it in those last 2 occasions, so I certainly didn't count any chickens. And in the early stages I was concentrating on Gerhard, and he was clearly pushing very hard. I went into the chicane and took my normal line and turned in. As I turned in, I could hear his engine noise, and I thought he's too far back to try something on. I didn't realise until I saw afterwards exactly how close he'd got.
And look at his wing! Look at his front wing! Gerhard Berger has got a wing problem. He's going to have to come in and change the nose, and this is going to make things even better for Damon Hill.
After what happened in Estoril, I didn't discount Jack managing to work his way through the field and even catch me up, and then me have a mechanical problem. You know, anything could happen.
And again, Villeneuve has a look, and this time is he going through? Yes! Eddie Irvine defers to Jacques Villeneuve. And here is Damon Hill, race leader, 25 seconds ahead of Michael Schumacher. He wants a cool, calm, collected, controlled pit stop. 4 new tyres and wheels, the right amount of fuel, which is pre-measured, and that looked like an absolutely immaculate stop for me as Michael Schumacher here comes out, and Damon Hill is going to rejoin. Is he just in front of the Ferrari? Yes, he is! Damon Hill, lap 35, rejoins in the lead ahead of Michael Schumacher.
Tim Preston came on the radio and said, Jack's out. And he repeated it. He said, Jack's out, Jack's out. It was like I didn't want to believe it. You know, I didn't believe it. You know, I thought, I know he's telling me the truth, and I know that Jack's out.
Jack is out. Jack is out of the race.
But I'm sure I haven't thought about, there's some eventuality here that will somehow or other mean that it's not actually, it's not definite that I'm world champion, because, you know, I just had not, actually I had not considered that possibility that Jack would break down. So I went round for 2 laps in a sort of state of disbelief, really, and then it sort of got through to me that that I could even pull in the pits, I could get out the car, I could do what I liked, I'd still be world champion. I was just out there on my own. I couldn't even see Michael, who was behind me, and so I had the track to myself, and driving the best car in the world, and world champion, and leading the race all in one. It was just a dream. It was just fantastic.
This is the last lap, Damon.
Damon Hill starting his last lap in Japan. And now is the time to say that we are seeing history made, and never before in the history of Formula 1 Grand Prix racing has the son of a world champion become world champion himself. This is going to be a mighty emotional occasion for a lot of people, not the least of whom is myself. That is his wife, Georgie. She's seeing her husband become world champion. Now she's seeing him win the Japanese Grand Prix because he is almost home. This is something that many people didn't think could possibly happen today. They thought Damon would drive a cautious race, but he fought. He fought from second on the grid. He passed Jacques Villeneuve. He took the lead. He stayed there. And Damon Hill exits the chicane and wins the Japanese Grand Prix. And I've got to stop because I've got a lump in my throat.
I wanted to drive around as slowly as I possibly could. I didn't want to make this, I didn't want to dash back to the pits. I wanted to savour it because I knew the moment I stepped out of the car, then I was going to be in the middle of a world gone crazy. I think the single most satisfying thing about it is that it's a goal that I set for myself and I achieved, and I didn't let myself down. There was no need for me to turn around and say, I could have done it if that hadn't gone wrong. There was, you know, it's done, and I've won it. George has been very, very important in this championship to me. She's been through all the trials and tribulations and had to put up with the fact that I'm never there, and she's had to bring up the children and cope with all the other problems at home. Something that I've been planning to do all season was to finally dedicate something to her. The whole thing, the championship, has got to be as much to do with her as it is to me.
He's my husband, and we've been together a long time, and he'd do the same for me if I was going to win a world championship, I'm sure. Fantastic. It's just everything we've been working for the last 15 years has come together today. It's brilliant.
Yeah, come and sit down. Yeah, have a seat.
And buy some drinks.
There you go. Sante. Campai.
No way. You drink it?
Yeah, straight.
Straight down, come on, Jack.
Campai.
Not very nice. Achtung!
Steady. Here we go.
From your little game, we are the
I'm home, dear. You're supposed to say, good day at the office.
Good day at the office.
You're not bad. Back to you later. Oh my god, my head. I don't get it, yeah.
What are you doing?
I was just getting the laundry because I knew I'd forget it.
Won the World Championship.
Yeah, but first things first.
Just lie down on the bed for a minute and sit still.
Whose jacket is
Think
that?
about what you've done. It's bold, isn't
Is it?
Lump.
Yes. Good, thank you. Good night. Well, I haven't done one before, and I thought it was about time that I did one, and it's a good opportunity to show what goes on behind the scenes in a championship year. Well, as you can imagine, the rivalry is very, very intense. There's a lot at stake, and every driver wants to win. I don't think there's any other sport where two guys are at the same time forced to compete against each other and at the same time work together. It's worked very well with Jack, but there's no question that we are the people we want to beat most when we come to the track. The whole process of a race weekend is all about psyching myself up and getting myself in the right frame of mind, and every aspect of the weekend is tailored towards getting the best out of myself and being in the right frame of mind on Sunday. Well, of course it's important to me. My family means everything to me. And also it's an opportunity for me to get away from the stress and the pressures of Grand Prix life. If it was just Grand Prix life, I think then I think that it would be a little bit difficult to live with just that. Well, I haven't got any plans as yet to do anything other than racing cars. Racing cars is what I do best and what I enjoy, and it's the way I get a lot of fulfillment. I don't think there's any secret formula. I have my own particular driving style, which I believe is the best for myself. And other than that, it's hard work. It's just down to concentration and working with the team and attention to detail and being prepared. And you have to use the best lines in order to reduce the angle that the car is taking through each corner. The shallower you can make a line through a corner, the quicker you will be able to go.
Can we have an update on the clutch, boys, on the data? The temperature's stable at the moment, James.
You focus on things like the turn-in point, and you focus on certain areas on the circuit which give you markers, so it may be just a discoloration in the tarmac, it may just be a little place where there's a bump, or it may just be where there's a slight kink in the edge of the road, and you become familiar with those points and use them as references.
30 seconds.
It's almost like painting, it's almost like freehand drawing. but you can only do that if you're at one with the car. Well, I don't think it's possible to say that he has my father's influence is there. I don't know quite how he could have an influence since he's not around. But he had a tremendous record for being determined and gritty and all those things. I like to think that I'm doing things my own way, and I like to think that, but I've also retained a lot of the good qualities that he had. I didn't actually set out to beat anyone's achievements. You know, I have to race on my own terms, and I set off with the only intention of doing as well as I possibly could do in motor racing. But the real motivation is wanting to win. I think there's some really excellent racetracks around the world, and there were some which are less exciting. I mean, but I think that the point there is that, you know, it's the race itself which is exciting. It's what happens on the track. It's what happens you know, from the start to the finish that makes a place memorable or not.
It's go, and Hill gets away well, moves across in front of Jacques Villeneuve. Alesi is up there and having a go. Hill forces him back. It is Damon Hill leading. Alesi is second. Schumacher comes up into third position, and Jacques Villeneuve, who started second, has been passed by Alesi and Schumacher.
Jack is 8.4 behind you in P4.
I love all sports. I mean, I really get into whatever sport I follow. I'll get into it, whether it's football or rugby or golf, whatever, because I can relate to the competitive spirit. I can relate to what it's like to see two teams or one individual trying to excel and trying to get the best out of himself. Well, I'd have to say that the hairiest moments have been probably in wet races. There have been some times when the conditions have been really appalling, and it's difficult to drive, and those are usually the hairiest moments. So races like Brazil, for example, and Barcelona were pretty tough. Well, that's a difficult one to answer in a short space of time. I can't say. Maybe that is something that's passed down. My mother is very competitive. She used to row for England, and as you know, my father was competitive, and so possibly it's just a genetic thing. Well, you know, if I'm recognised and people come up to me in the street and you know, I'm welcomed wherever I go, then that's a great thing. Well, the press is there to put all sides, and the attention that also the press give to Formula One is enormous, and they certainly make some interesting stories out of the Formula One business. Well, I know that I have quite a large following in some very strange places like Macedonia and Russia and places that we don't actually go to race yet. This is all good for Formula One. I have a gym in my own house. I try to vary what I do so I don't get bored with the routine of it, but it involves the usual practices of aerobic training. I have to have a good aerobic fitness and a good strength base as well. Well, there's no question that I have enormous admiration for anyone who is in an individual sport, because it takes a slightly different approach to the discipline if you're having to work on your own. So you know, anyone who has to dedicate themselves, and athletes particularly, I mean, people like Steve Redgrave, for example, is just a supreme athlete, and to have done what he's done is truly incredible. I also am a big admirer of Nick Faldo, who I believe tackles takes on a slightly different pressure, which is a mental pressure, the pressure of being on a golf course for 4 days, for 4 hours at a time, and keeping the concentration going. That's something I can relate to as well, because Formula One is all about concentration. Well, my hero used to be, when I was younger, when I was a lad, was Barry Sheene, and I used to follow the bike racing very closely and cheer along my hero Barry. Well, I have to, you know, say that everything I've ever had from in my life has been through motor racing, and now I'm really in a position where I'm getting a lot of the rewards from the profession. You know, the opportunity to win and to succeed, and the financial rewards that come also with the sport. And I couldn't say anything other than the fact that I feel I'm a very lucky man to be in the position I'm in. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know quite what the future holds as far as motorsport goes. I think it's all going in the right direction, and it's certainly a boom industry. The interest in Grand Prix racing is huge, and the safety aspect is improving as well. And if one of my children decide that they want to race, then it'd be difficult for me to stand in their way.
Damon Hill, race leader, 25 seconds ahead of Michael Schumacher. He wants a cool, calm, collected, controlled pit stop, 4 new tyres and wheels, the right amount of fuel, which is pre-measured, and that looked like an absolutely immaculate stop for me as Michael Schumacher here comes out, and Damon Hill is going to rejoin. Is he just in front of the Ferrari? Yes, he is!